First of all, I want to begin with a circle. I'm going to begin with a circle. For those of you who haven't seen this yet, the illusion of a vision. A head of a bird ducking down, two eyes over here, the single eye up here, or the cone of the rooster, the chicken that can't fly, above the church, connected towards the compass, pointing north as the wind blows, as there is movement, as time moves on, as life breeds the high and the low blood pressure, the incoming and the outcoming of the blood through the heart, the heartbeat, the lungs, the breathing, and the organs, moving everything around to keep us alive. A little ball that's in between the beginning and the end, so that the mouth should not eat the tail. We're going to go and do the circle right now, and I'm going to point my camera down. Circle number 1. Now, circle number 2. Center. Circle number 3. Three circles. Now the question is, why? Why, if I put a straight line through here, okay, we're going to create the I letter in this height. Do you notice I need the circles above each other? Almost, if you look at the illusion, there's almost like the stand, like a cone curving up. A straight area over here. Do you see the illusion of the hexagon inside this design? See the way this comes up? Although you now see them as just maybe quarter moons, at the same time, I'm just going to draw a straight line across, right? And this will become your I letter, okay? Your I letter. You, okay, will create your H through this area over here. So now you have your I here and your H over here, telling you where you are in the position of the circle. Now, if you want to talk about pi, we'll talk about pi. If you want to figure out how we calculate or how they calculate pi, that's fine. I am zero knowledgeable to this. The only way I can actually create what I understand is pi, right, is to understand how to take pi apart. This is perfect. This is not perfect. Now, do we go 9? 9? Do we go 12 as in a clock? Is pi a real measurement as rectangular? Because there is above and below. The reflection of anything will create the complete circle and reflection. Similarity if you're looking at the picture cards. But in reality, life is half. You are above the ground, you're not all around the earth, you're on top of the earth, you're one piece on top of the earth. You're encompassed inside the earth. And this is almost like an open book. If you turn it this way and I put lines down this way, I now have a book. I'm not going to ask if it's a square book, because if it's a square book, we have it's rectangular on one side, understand? So now my question is, how do we measure this? And one of the ways to measure this is A, create another circle on top or another circle beside, understanding what this area is here, understanding what I'm just going to have to make the other part of the circle. I'm not going to do the complete circle. And just understanding this area here to complete the difference of the squared area. Do you follow what I'm saying? In order for me to understand this, I need to understand what's missing. And I need to square it off between here and here. And we will be able to find out, okay, between here and here and here and here in this totality. So I can continue it and just show you it this way. Now, I don't know the complete calculation right now, but you get my drift of what I'm getting to. Anyways, that's pi. Okay, now do we go 9 around, 12 around? If you look at the telephone, right, or if you look at the numeric system, the I is a line with a dot actually saying 10. Depending where you move the dot with the line, you can get a G, you can get a P, you can get a B, you can get a 6. And if you ever look at numbers, the number 2 or 5 always has an extra, like the 2 and the 5 always shows that Fibonacci starting. It comes in and around on the 2. The 5 is square and then comes in and around on the 5. But if you look at the 3, it has it on both the top and the bottom, signifying what? On the 6, you have it. It's a complete circle on the 6 and the 9, showing me that 3 can be 6 and 9, 5 and 2, because they all have that same design. Now I'm going to show you this. Right? Now follow my finger. My finger is always going to be on top. See the way my finger is always on top? Now my finger is no longer on top. That's right. It's curved. So what I'm going to do to this thing is I'm going to cut it. Oh no, I broke it. Not good. Not a good sign. So I'm going to make another cut in it. Oh, okay, that's not so bad. Now I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it. Ugh. Ugh. I just hope I can cut this properly. And we're going to see what happens when we cut this. This is actually a problem. I mean, when I say it's a problem, I mean because it's a problem we can solve, or something that was a problem can now be understood. We can ask, like, we see the end result, right? Did you see creation? No, we see the end result. We got to go backwards. So to go backwards, I go back 10 feet, and I go forward 10 feet, and I go back 10 feet, and I go, okay, this works. And then I go back 20 feet, and I advance 11 or 12 feet to overlap in what I just began. Because if I don't overlap, how do I know the fine link between the first 10 touches the next 10 if I don't overlap for the continuous? Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And then you got 10. 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. 11 is 1 plus 1 is 2. 12 is 1 plus 2 is 3. 13 is 1 plus 3 is 4. And now you have a new ball game beginning. Okay? And the reason for that is the first 13 letters of the alphabet. And to relink the next side of the alphabet, you must go to 15. 3.1415. That will bring you, the first part of the alphabet is 13, the second part of the alphabet is 14, and then 15. The reason I go all the way to 15 is because 14 is the first one, 15 is the next one. We actually have to go to 16. And one of the reasons for this, although it equals 1 plus 6 equals 7, is that in this design here, or in this marking over here, there's an in-between crossover between the two sides. Point 1, point 2, what is in between is the half space. What divides the lines between two areas? One equaling to part of both areas, equaling to the I of two areas. 1 equals to 2, meaning 1 is included in 2. 2 does not equal 2. Never 2. 2 is always going to be 3 areas, all in the center of each other. All in the center of each other. When you have a block, you have 3. You have 2 sides and the center. That is your 3, and the extremities is the beginning of the empty space or the next space. When you have 10, 11, and 12, nothing stops on 12. How sweet is 16? So when you overlap from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 is the other side of 1 shown on a cube. So the other side of 1 shown on a cube is now 16. All zeros equal 6. You throw a dart into the center of the board, you get 50. You go to the center of the telephone, you get 5. How many keys are in the middle of the telephone? 1 key, numeric value of 5, of a total of 9. 159. The 159, I know I'm off key, the 159, separation of 404. So we take it like this. Now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I take like this. 3, 5, 7, I take like this because there's 4 numbers to get over here, but there's 8 numbers to get over here. So I must be going around it, or I must be following some intestine to get down to the bottom. Remember, when they do the colonoscopy, they can go here, and then they're going to come from the top again. But anyways, let me get on to the rest of this video. Did you understand where I'm getting with numbers? The second part of numbers, 10 is the completion of 1 and 0. Meaning what? Meaning I am in between 2 sides. 0 equaling to 1, gathering up of 2 sides. Me, 0. My mouth in between the hole. Anyways, I didn't finish with this, did I? Right? This is the Star of David, actually, is here. Do you see the Star of David? I just bubbled it out. I ended up with B and B. And inside B and B, look what B and B creates A. See the A over here? The V for life. So now we have A and B. Now where is C and what do I do for C? C encompasses the top completely. The point. C on one side, C on the other side. I see you, you see me. I can make it up. So here, I had just cut the 2 of them in half. What do I end up with? Look at that. 2 loops. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it again. And if you noticed, I now have 1 screw on each side. Before I couldn't do this, but now I could because of the 2 screws. Now I'm going to do this again. Okay, and I shouldn't be starting in here because this one's going to split apart because it doesn't have the screw. But I'm going to cut it one more time and show you what's going to happen. And I have to be able to tape this end up when I'm finished because it's supposed to all be taped up. It should have been all glued together. And I shouldn't be working with this material because this material snaps and it's old. And I'm very upset because I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it because there's a crack in it. I'll be lucky, make a prayer. Oh, it worked, went right through the crack. I'm going to cut this again. By the way, my son, Donovan Ray, born that day. He was born that day, Donovan Ray to stay. Star Child, very, very nice Star Child. If you're into the video right to here, Mr. Star Child, let's call him, put him on the Mick DNA, right? Anyways, has to, mailed me out a beautiful Hanukkah candle holder where the shaman, for all those who hear the word but take it in their own context of definition, where the shamus is lit all the time. Now the question is, how do I end this one and what will happen to this when I end it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to tape up. Where did this part come from? This part had to, oh yes, this part had to be taped up. It's not good, it's all falling apart. What ends up happening with this is the circles become intertwined. Just give me 1 second. Let me get back with this over here. Yes, okay. See, but it's not fair because now you're not sure which side I'm going to be on. This had to go right over here, right? I'm going to have to put some tape on that. Lucky I just so happened to have found some tape on my bureau. Anyways, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish with this, but if you do this with a piece of paper, I should have did it longer. I'm going to do it with throw that away. I'm going to get out a piece of paper and do it with a piece of paper and show you. So here's a piece of paper. I'm going to, I wish it was a longer paper. And I'm going to make 1 twist and then I'm going to fold this together. Just make one twist, and I'm going to put that together, and I'm going to glue it. I'm going to glue it together. Okay, straight piece of paper, one twist, and I'm going to glue it together. And I'm going to show you, like I was showing you before, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it. And I cut it, and now you can see what it's like. It's got 4 twists, from 1 twist to 4 twists. Now what I'm going to do is, and I have to keep this in your vision, because if I move it from your vision, you're going to think I cheated. Right? Can't cheat. The camera doesn't cheat, right? So I'm still cutting along the same. Now I cannot make sure not to put my hand below the vision of the camera where we keep on cutting. Will I ever get to the end? Oh yes, I'm here. I'm at the end. So what has happened now? We have 2 loops separated completely from each other. I have loop number 1 here, and then loop number 2 here with a twist in it. You see? Separate loops. You see it's separate loops? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. You notice that it's a separate loop, completely separate loop. Now I'm going to cut one more time through this one here. Just give me a sec, the phone. Me personally, whatever has to, if we're gonna, I don't want to go to court. I don't want anybody to have to pay anything if it has to stop. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that just like that. But I understand you completely. That's good. The U.S. court is fine. Stay out of the Quebec courts. Right? I'm not in. Okay. Now to continue on, as I was interrupted by the phone for about an hour or so, plus I made lunch in between, I have a cut in my paper. I'm going to have to fix the cut. Just give me a second. I should put it on pause again. I taped it up. No trickery involved. So what this is called is, it's called the Mobius Strip, in which my son introduced it to me. I took one strip, I folded it over. Now look what we have here. I have one strip here. I have all individual strips held in between each other. Okay, I have one strip here. I have all individual strips intertwined, all separated from each other from one strip. And I can keep on cutting these strips. Okay, I'm going to cut this strip. You're going to have to do this at home. I did it yesterday, but I did it differently yesterday. It came out to the letter M. You know, I'm going to see what this one does, right? All individual, cutting them all individually. I have to turn them over because what is on top is then on the bottom. What is on bottom is then on the top. You see what happens after we bring this, bring this here. I'm going to have to put another little piece of tape. Gets really thin, you know. I'm not as good as God the Builder, who built us all in all these itsy bitsy pieces and strips that come back together. I'm just a minuscule builder. The minuscule. So now I have all kinds of different linking strips together, everyone with their own pathway. And I can't describe it. Video's over. Been too long. Thank you for watching this video.